What I know of man was written long ago, set down by the greatest ape of all, our lawgiver. Cornelius, come here. Reach into my pocket. Read to him the 29th scroll, 6th verse.
Beware the beast man, for he is the devil's pawn. Alone among God's primates, he kills for sport, or lust, or greed. Yea, he will murder his brother to possess his brother's land. Let him not breed in great numbers, for he will make a desert of his home and yours. Shun him. Drive him back into his jungle lair, for he is the harbinger of death.
This is the book of John, chapter 10 and verse 10. It says, "The thief cometh not, but for to steal, and to kill, and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly." Shalom Akim, Koholayim La, Allahayanawa, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahawashi, Bahashim, Wachahakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and is pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, and is remaining true to the faith, and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands, and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth, to you Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen, and who look like those heathen nations. But your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. I want to say peace and blessings to you all, Barakatham. All right. So this is a video that was shared, all right, by the beloved brother, Yeramiah, all right, servant of Yahawashi. And, you know, when you really think and meditate on just how wicked these devils are, you know what I'm saying, and how they have moved through the shadows for all these years, okay, and all the things that the Lord has seen, okay, these devils do on a daily basis, okay, we're truly have to, Salaki, we're truly going to have to move in the spirit of the Lord, you know what I'm saying? The vengeance of the Lord is going to have to be upon us, all right, when it's time for the elect to be activated, you know what I'm saying? It truly is going to have to be the spirit of the Lord moving through us, all right? Because we in this mortal flesh, you know what I'm saying, this mere mortal flesh, we have we have limitations. I'll say that. We have limitations. Okay? But when the scriptures say that we shall do in Edom according to the Lord's anger and according to the Lord's vengeance and his fury, all right, you have to understand that the Lord has been watching all of these things happen, okay, from the stealing of these children, the unaliving of these children, the weak, the frail, the innocent, you know what I'm saying, the blood of all these victims, you see what I'm saying? If the Lord was to show us a fraction of what he sees these Edomites doing, okay, truly, all right. I was listening to the beloved brother Imal, from Saints of Jersey, and he said something that actually resonated, real sternly with my spirit, when he said that the Lord created the perfect wicked human being. The Lord created the perfect wicked human being. And these jokers are the epitome of wicked and evil. You see what I'm saying? We only know just a small smidgen, a small, tiny bit of what the Lord has seen. Again, John chapter 10 and verse 10, the thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. This is what he was made for. You see what I'm saying? He can do no different. He cannot bring peace. That is not his lot. You see what I'm saying? Let me get this in Job, because I'm gonna show you this video. All right. These are just a small these are just a small list of what the CIA has done throughout the world. Okay, and if the CIA has done all this wickedness, then you know that the Mossad has done even worse. You see what I'm saying? Because these Amalekites take their wickedness and they quantify that shit. You see what I'm saying? Let me get two precepts from the book of Job. All right, Job chapter 9, verse 24. All right. It reads, "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?" You see what I'm saying? If these Edomites are not the wicked, then who is he? Because you got these losers out here that's trying to say that that Esau is not the so-called white man, white woman. You see what I'm saying? Well, if that's the case, then who are they? Because clearly the final captivity would be under the foothold and the strong arm of Esau. So if these Edomites, or if these so-called white people are not the Edomites, then, all right, as the elder Yashawamba says, we got another captivity to look forward to. We got another captivity to look forward to, because prophecy tells you that Esau Edom is going to be the final captivity. Esau Edom is the final boss. So these jokers who's unaliving you in the streets, you see what I'm saying, who's hiding behind his judicial system. Okay, if this is not the Edomite, then who the hell is he? I just saw a video. All right, Lord willing, I'll do a lesson on it, man. Okay, but but this band of Edomite females are jumping this young Jake woman, you know what I'm saying, on the bed, and if she hadn't gone to a neighbor, she would have been unalive that night. You see what I'm saying? This is who Esau is, man. You cannot rehabilitate these people. You cannot rehabilitate Esau, All right, you got these jakes out here trying to save Esau. That's all they're fixated on, is saving Esau, Edom. But this is Job chapter 14 and verse 4. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. You can't do it, man. You can't change them. So I'm going to let this video play. All right? And then I'll get some precepts. Bear with me.
We've set out to overthrow functioning constitutional democracies in over 20 countries. We manipulated elections in dozens of countries. We created standing armies and directed them to fight. We went after ethnic minorities to encourage them to revolt. The first thing we did in Nicaragua was to go to the Mosquito Indians, who had never gotten along with the other people in Nicaragua very well, and give them more money than they had seen in the entirety of history, and arms and training and rationales and sanctuaries in Honduras, and sent them into Nicaragua to attack, kill, fight, pillage. And this has been a technique the CIA has used in Nicaragua, in Thailand, in Vietnam, in Laos, in the Congo, in Iran, Iraq with the Kurds, in different parts of the world. We created, trained, and funded death squads like the Treasury Police in El Salvador that are responsible for as many as 70,000 people, according to the count of the Catholic Church. And we've assassinated world leaders. You can never be sure how many people are killed in the jungles of Laos or the hills of Nicaragua, but adding them up as best we can, we come up with a figure of 6 million people killed, minimum figure. It has to be more than that. 1 million in the Korean War, 2 million in the Vietnam War, 800,000 in Indonesia, a couple of million in Cambodia, 20,000 in Angola, the operation I was part of, 22,000 in Nicaragua. For other reasons, we don't do these things in England, France, Sweden, Norway, Belgium, Switzerland, etc. These things are all done in countries of the third world where the governments don't have the power to force the United States to stop destabilizing the country and brutalizing their people.
That's crazy. That's crazy. These are the Edomites. All right, these are the Edomites. Let's go to the book of Habakkuk. As a matter of fact, let's hit the book of Micah real quick. All right, this is Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1. It reads, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand." You see what I'm saying? You go to the book of Wisdom of Solomon, all right, the 2nd chapter, and it tells you the mind of these Edomites. All right, they say in their heart, all right, that their strength should be the law of justice. All right, their strength should be the law of justice. And that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth in their eyes. You see what I'm saying? And this is why they don't want other nations to have power that is equal or superior to their own. You see what I'm saying? This is why. All right, this is the hammer of the whole earth, as is written in Jeremiah, the 51st chapter. All right, or it's like the 50th chapter. This is the hammer of the whole earth, man. Okay, and how is that hammer torn asunder? It's going to be the Lord that has to do this. The Lord has to intervene in all this madness that these Edomites have been doing. Okay. Now you look at all of what we've just seen, all of this carnage, all this chaos, all this pain, all this anger, this hatred, this rampaging. You've seen all of this. Okay? And after all of that, these devils have the nerve to point the fingers at someone else. They got the nerve to point the fingers at Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, yada, yada, yada. The list goes on. They will point the finger at everybody. They pointed the finger at Venezuela just early this year. You see what I'm saying? Showed the world, oh, look at us. We're blowing up all these little boats of civilians and saying that they're trafficking all this these narcotics over here to America and all that stuff. Nobody's proving anything. No, they just get to do it. You see what I'm saying? Because it's in the power of their hands. Okay, completely shut off all the power in Cuba, and then they look at the world and they tell them, oh well, their power is out because it's just an outdated system. No, you're destabilizing their power. You're destabilizing their country. And this is what these Edomites have done over and over and over. Verse 2, they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man and his heritage. You see what I'm saying? And notice the bulk of all this carnage was amongst you Jakes. You see what I'm saying? Israelites. All right, Israelites largely inhabit Nicaragua. You see what I'm saying? Israelites, man. And then when you look at the campaigns that they performed in Vietnam and you know, in all these different places, man. Okay. All these different places. He named just but a few. These devils just celebrated 250 years of their country being established. And for at least 95% of this country's existence, they have been in war. They have been involved in war. You see what I'm saying? This is not a people that can bring peace because they don't know peace. You see what I'm saying? And this is why the Lord is about to bring, all right, he's about to bring all this hell upon these Edomites, man. This is why the Lord is about to bring down their posterity, their strength, their might. You see what I'm saying? It's already beginning. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 30, Isaiah chapter 33. All right, Isaiah 33 and verse 1, it says, "Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee." You see what I'm saying? All of this is going to come to a head, man, very soon. It's all going to come to a head, man. And it's not going to be anything that can be done about it. Okay? Let's go to chapter 14. Right? Isaiah chapter 14. Let's hit verse Isaiah chapter 14, verse 6. All right. Let's start at verse 4. Isaiah 14 and verse 4, it says, "That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, How hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased." America was seen as that golden city. All right. But when you open up that closet, it's nothing but bones. Nothing but bones. It's nothing but complete death, man. All right. They are as death, and they cannot be satisfied. All right. I believe that's what I wanted to grab in Habakkuk. I don't know if I grabbed that, but in Salakia. You know, it truly is a blessing that the Lord has not allowed us to see what this devil truly gets down with, you know what I'm saying, behind closed doors. It truly is a blessing, you know what I'm saying, that we don't see this. Okay? The Lord's going to show it to us. He's going to reveal all of it to us. All right? When we get those new bodies, Lord willing, I'm among that number. Okay? But in these frail bodies, okay, with limited capacity that we have, we would lose it if we saw, all right, just a small fraction of what these Edomites do, that the Lord is witness to on a second by second basis. You see what I'm saying? Every second that goes by, he's watching these Edomites do some wickedness, some atrocious behavior. Literally, Elder Malcolm just brought out a couple days ago that there are animal brothels in Europe. Animal brothels. This is Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 5. It says, the Lord had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. Okay, and your scepter, your rulership is being broken down, man. You see what I'm saying? He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted, and none hindereth. You've done so much bullshit. You've done so much chaos and carnage around the world that when it's your turn, nobody's gonna be filled with remorse. Nobody's gonna mourn after you. Nobody's gonna feel sorry. You see what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna feel sorry for your downfall. People are gonna rejoice. As a matter of fact, that's what it says. Verse 7. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. You see? The whole earth is going to rejoice. So, let me get this in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. Verse 4 says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations. All right, all those nations that he mentioned, it's just a small handful. You see what I'm saying? But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. All right, heavy debts. That's what that word thick clay goes into in the Hebrew is ibatyet, which means heavy debts. And here it is, these jokers are trillions upon trillions in a hole. And here this asshole Pete Hegseth comes in front of the Congress asking for $1.5 trillion. You see what I'm saying? While everybody is suffering all around. It's crazy work, man. It's crazy. All right. Verse 7, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee? All right, and thou shalt be for booties unto them, because thou hast spoiled many nations. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of man's blood, and for the violence of the land of the city, and all that dwell therein. Okay, so what is about to happen? What's about to come upon the shores of America? All right, it's long overdue. You see what I'm saying? It's long overdue, and the Lord has sent forth his prophets to shake the hand that it may go into the gates of the nobles. All right, and now that they've heard this word and they've heard the sentencing, you see what I'm saying? They're about to respond. Okay, they're about to respond against the Lord's men and against the believers. You see what I'm saying? Both alike. All right, he's coming down with great wrath very soon because he's been found out. Okay, he can no longer hide himself. He's been made bare, and there's nowhere left to go. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to cut that there, man. I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. All right. This has been your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. All right. In closing, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Ruchahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who teach well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.